Looks like we are hot on the trail of Jenny's soul. Entering this... Ugh. I hate the look of this level.
Hell's seizure elevator.
Yes. It's so disorienting. I'm sorry anyone has to see this.
Yeah, hopefully you're not foaming at the mouth, one way or another.
Yeah. I'm gonna blame the disorienting background for killing me there.
Don't think anyone can blame you, to be honest. This stage is a pain in the ass.
Yep.
It doesn't help that the colours are really strong, but the enemies are kind of almost pastel colour in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, there's definitely a lot of visual fuck-ups to deal with.
The stage is too busy, whereas the enemies kind of fade into the background.
Yep. This is also the level where the input delay really starts to become a problem.
Yeah, again,
First game, every time you hit the button you did an attack, and in this game it's not so generous.
Yeah, again, the controls in this are an improvement, but when it comes to stages like this, it might as well not be.
Yeah.
Really
But
shows...
clearly, once you've memorized absolutely everything, it becomes pretty trivial.
Yeah.
It just takes a long time to memorize everything.
And then there's
And
this
here's
guy.
Jenny. A weird crystal.
Is Jen naked in there? I can never quite tell.
She's clothed when she gets out, so... The first time I fought this boss, I didn't realize you could punch the lightning balls. And, yeah, it just ruined me. Because you can't get close without destroying them.
First time I played it, I thought you were supposed to hit the lightning balls into it. Because that kind of looks like what you're doing.
It's not an intuitive boss fight. Oh, and now that we've rescued Jenny, we are going to be chased out of hell by Satan himself.
Yeah, this is more or less a repeat of the Kraken stage.
Yeah, this is actually much easier. All you have to do is press your face against the left side of the screen, right side actually, and deal with the two balls that will actually hit you if you're over there.
The stage also surreal as hell because there's nothing that even remotely suggests you're going to be fighting in some kind of face dimension.
Yeah, very bizarre design on that stage all around. But it's short, at least.
Yep. Probably one of the easier stages in the game, all things considered.
Yep.
Of course, then we've got this stage.
Yes. This is a gauntlet.
Yep. You've got enemies, you've got bricks.
Yeah.
Oh, and the enemies, if I remember right, are basically immortal. You can't kill them,
Yes,
just
they
knock
are
them down.
unkillable. The enemies are the least of the problem, though. They're distracting, which is going to get you hit by the bricks.
Yeah. The bricks do fall in some kind of pattern, but I don't remember it being particularly intuitive either.
Yeah, it's once again a thing you have to completely memorize. After about halfway through, the bricks stop falling in the exact center of the room, so you can just stand there safely.
At least the music's pretty good.
Yep. Now we gotta make our way back across the lake. We found a speedboat, fortunately. And the Kraken has found us. It's Chekhov's Kraken.
I'm pretty sure that's exactly what Anton Chekhov had in mind.
Too bad it also sounds like Michael Jackson.
Yeah. This stage is actually a bit more difficult than you think because it's incredibly easy for depending on how the spikes shoot out, you can spend ages just hitting one spike with another.
Oh yeah. And the spike in the middle, that one can... Sometimes you can duck under it, but most of the time you can't.
Yeah.
And there's no visual indicator as to whether you can or can't.
So the stage is, it looks simple, but if you're unlucky, it can go forever.
I'm making it look much, much easier than it actually is.
Oh yeah.
And Legion, of course.
The final meat ghost. This is basically a redux of the boss fight from a couple of stages ago.
Oh yeah.
Where it is firing bits of meat at you, and you have to basically hit it until it goes away.
Yep. He will keep flinging heads infinitely until you smack his actual form.
Yeah. That's probably the most difficult part of it.
Yep. Once you get 4 hits in, he comes after you. Now this part, it looks like I'm just cheesing it by standing in this one place. It's actually really, really hard to time that hit where he comes at you directly.
Yeah. Again, it looks...
Like you only have, about a second.
Yeah.
Is your window of opportunity there.
Again, it looks really easy, and this guy is a pain in the ass if you don't get lucky.
Oh yeah. Yep, you have to land every single one of these hits, and we'll be seeing what happens if you don't. Oh, I guess we won't. Probably cut that out, but if you miss any one of those hits, he turns back into the ball, the floating ball guy who spits heads at you.
Yep, have to restart the entire thing from the beginning. Because
Yep.
because when it comes to the bosses, this game hates you. The final
Yeah,
bosses,
that-
at least.
Entire last level is completely unforgiving. Took me a very, very long time to beat.
And then the house disappears back into Atlantis from whence it came.
But what of the mask? Just like the first game ended, it ends with the mask cackling evilly, further cementing that this is sort of a remake/sequel.
Yep. And then Rick grew hair out of absolutely nowhere.
Yeah. In the original Japanese, the intro screen, it said instead of go back to the house, it said go to the hidden house, which sounds like a small difference, but it actually implies that it's a different house that you're going to. And then the first level, you're going through the burned down remains of the house you destroyed in the first game. So in that game, it's actually, a continuity-based sequel, whereas in this game, it's sort of vague, more of a remake.
Yeah. That, or you're going to one hell of an outhouse.
Something like that. Across a lake, that is an inconvenient outhouse. And there's Ken Lobb in the special thanks. This is, I believe, the last game he worked on before joining Nintendo of America and working on basically all of the Rare games that came out on Nintendo 64. He had a gun named after him in GoldenEye.
The Club. Which everybody either loved or hated.
It was a pretty garbage gun, but I enjoyed using it.
I hated GoldenEye, but that's only because I was the only person who knew who didn't have an N64.
Yeah, that'll do it. You'll just be spawn camped if you don't have the 64 yourself.
That, and in Perfect Dark, there was one guy who always insisted on using the Farsight sniping you through walls. He's a dick.
Ugh, that's the worst guy. And that is Splatterhouse 2. Not much of a story to pick up on from here.
Or is there?
There's a ghost in the sea, who I guess scared Jenny.
You sure that wasn't Rick?
Something like that. We'll be seeing how they pick up that next time in Splatterhouse 3.
Cannot wait.